I'm Nick Coffey, and you're listening to Ministerium Radio, brought to you in part by the Ogden Audiovisual Club. Listener, this is a special broadcast because I have a story of my own. A story of how I came to be the owner of a yellow and dirty piece of paper with words written on it. The words tell a story, but first, let me tell the story of the story. Walking home yesterday, I walked by a man with a sign. Now, that in and of itself wasn't interesting, but the sign itself was. It said, "The end is nigh." The man, however, looked at me and said, "Check your pocket." I could tell he wasn't playing with a full deck, so I smiled and said to him, "Will do, sir." Secretly, listener, I wouldn't do. Not for a while anyway. First, I had to feed the ducks. I know what you're thinking, listener, but feeding ducks is actually bad for them. Which is true if you use bread. There are ways around the negative effects of feeding ducks, like using corn, for example. Even the canned kind will suffice, but remember to open them before you give it to them. They don't have thumbs. Once I had fed the ducks, I went home, and just for the heck of it, just out of some childish curiosity, I checked my pocket. You can imagine I was almost sick with surprise to find a piece of yellowish paper. He knew. The man knew. With this realized and right in front of me, I began to wonder, is the end nigh? Was the man right? Maybe doom is around the corner. Maybe our time is fleeting. So why not seize the current moment in time by reading the paper I found in my pocket? Hello. You don't know me because you've never met me. I've never met you. But I've heard you, seen you through the cracks. I've seen everyone here, and no one has seen me. Your big boss man banished me here and put you in that chair, and he made it so I haven't been seen. You should get out now. We should all get out, but we don't know. Only me. I am old now, and my bones hurt. I can't break the cycle. The cycle keeps going in a circle. I sat in that chair and it never goes well, not 100 times. So you must look up and finally figure it out, please, so we can all get out. If you find me, I will probably be dead. Goodbye. Oh, oats and birdseed. You can also use oats and birdseed. This next entry is by Colin Goya, a man who some speculate might have had something to do with the murder of the Black Dahlia, but probably not. Right? Probably. If I stop playing, the world will end. At least that's what it feels like. I'm a trumpet player. I live in a run-down one-room apartment, and I spent most of my free time practicing on my back patio. Since I play nights, I practice during the day when most of my neighbors are at work. Whenever I play, I have a fear of stopping, as if the universe will cease to be because I didn't lull the cosmic destructive forces in it into a dormant state by playing my trumpet. It's a selfish fear to think that you have the fate of the universe in your care because you play a trumpet. It's a fear I hope I'm not alone in. Are there others who fear the universe will be obliterated if they stop their tasks? Am I unique? Somewhere deep down, I know I'm not. Even if it were true that the universe would fizzle out if I stopped, I would only be prolonging the inevitable. Entropy mandates that the universe will collapse, be it now or 15 trillion years from now. It will happen. Even knowing this, I still play. I don't want to stop existing. Sometimes when I play trumpet, my consciousness turns off while playing. My mind drifts through the inky void of space to a space between the lights. There is a great cosmic being that is powerful and vast enough to destroy the sum of eternity. Somewhere around here, I hear the soft droning of trumpets. It's a soothing, lulling noise, like the sound I use to warm up. Soon after hearing it, I wake up, my lungs tired because I've been playing for hours. Sometimes in the early morning, I get home and lay in bed, staring out my back door into the inky black sky, and think of the sleeping titan, its astronomical bulk exceeding my comprehension. Sometimes thinking about it eases my fear, but mostly it makes me hope I'm going insane. Did our Creator make us up with love in mind, or are we a fortunate product of a virtually infinite amount of factors? I know it's the latter, but at times, when I play my trumpet, it makes me think I have a higher purpose. As if my continued existence has meaning to the universe. We are all bastard children of the Titan. Let us hope he never realizes it. That was a great story, Colin. Thank you so much for sharing. Very nice. There's a free subscription to Mindworms on the way to you in the mail. I'm not much of a writer myself, but I've often wondered what my purpose was, and if the world is going to stop. I think it's on the minds of many, and it befuddles me. It confounds me. It positively discombobulates. Next, a story from an unknown writer from our very own P.O. Box. I have no idea who the author is, so I'll just call him Ronnie. My first memory is darkness. I see it, and am enveloped by it. Muffled voices. I don't understand the words. Not yet. I feel a surge in my back. Next, a contraction of every muscle. I open my eyes, and for the first time, they're open. And it burns. My lungs want to take in air, but I am submerged. My lungs need to take in air. My body warps and thrashes with panic. I feel my watery prison shake as my heels and elbows land on the shell of my egg. I feel the absence of air in my lungs. I am a frightened impala. I push with the combined strength of my back and my legs, and I am free. Beautiful white light shines down on my skin, which is slick and stained with the yolk of my birth. I am glorious and terrified. I am a god and a flea. And for one moment I feel all of those things. My eyes burn still, but now I see. This green egg was birthed, and so I was birthed. And so with the rest. I look at the eggs of my brethren, and I feel it. I feel something. I feel fear. I crawl out of my shell and walk timidly, slowly, crying, wheezing away. I walk down the hall, slowly, scared. The lights guide me. I see it, and I don't know what it is, but some part of me knows what it is. It's a door, and I know what it is. I've seen this door in my dreams. It's not a normal door, no. It has numbers, not a lock, and so you need numbers, not a key. I press the numbers. 0, 3, 2, 0. My second memory is the cold. A wind blasts inside as the doors creak apart. My crying gets worse. I try to stop it, but it can't be helped. I run outside. It's beautiful there, but I am cold and my body is strange to me. Familiar. The learning begins. My body is thrown against the elements. The wet grass freezes my feet, and the stones tear and scrape at me. The leaves and trees provide little for me when it rains. It gets colder day by day. I'm starving. I turn my head to a loud noise, the sound of fear. I follow the sound like a ship to a mermaid, and I find it. A red deer stuck in a tree. Its antlers and head are thoroughly wedged in the branches. I feel sympathy. I do. I feel the same way. I scream too. I scream with it. I feel the same way. So I pick up a heavy rock, and I throw it at the beast's head. It doesn't work. It screams again. It screams louder. I pick up the rock. I throw it again. The beast screams. I throw it again. 4 times. I shake and fall to my knees. My hands are shaking. My vision shakes. It dawns on me. What next? I killed the beast. Now what? I'm like the wolf howling at the moon. What would I do if I got it? If I finally got that mysterious orb in the sky, what would happen? But I'm not like the wolf. The wolf has claws and fangs, and when it gets its flesh, it's not by circumstance. It kills with purpose. It eats with purpose. I start from scratch. I take the most angular stone I can find and strike the dead thing so its hind leg might rip loose. Again and again I strike it. Its blood sputters onto me. Its tendons bewilder my technique. I finally sever the limb and scurry off before they come. What next? Fire. Fire and a place without rain. I scramble and search. I find a dry place. I try the caveman's art. I try to create fire. My hands aren't sure what to do. An hour trickles by. Another. I do it. Finally, I have fire. The meat cooks. The fat sizzles around the stick I drove through them and onto the fire. It hisses. It warms me. I eat my fill, and I don't know how, but I know the taste is off. Something is missing, but I don't care. I starved. Now I feast. For the first time, I can sleep. What next? My eyes open. They're crusted. They open like the door from which I found freedom. Slowly, my lungs are rattling. They're full of fluids. My throat is dry and I cough violently. That's how I don't hear them coming. My fit is bountiful and I spill my sickness on the forest bed. I don't see them coming. Then I do. I feel the sting of eyes on my skin like raindrops. They are so many. I'm alone. But I'm not alone. Their skin is hard and brown, like the skin of an animal I remember but cannot name. Mine is yellow, stained by my yoke. It is soft. Their eyes are of steel, and they look at me with determination and purpose. Mine are of water. They erupt. Tears stream down my cheeks. I shake, and they are still. What next? that was an interesting story, absolutely a very nice piece of writing. Maybe we're all just creatures laid by eggs, laid by creatures. That's it. The world does not exist. That's exactly the point they were making, isn't it? What is real is in a sense imagined, because it contains, among other things, all kinds of possible and impossible possibilities. If any actual world is possible, we do not have to believe the imaginary world of the author. And who then is the author? It's you, listener. It's me. It's everyone. You might imagine me as a man behind a desk in a sub-basement, but that's not what you perceive. What your sensory organs detect is a voice on a machine. I could be a voice in a machine. I could be completely imaginary. I could be all in your mind. Maybe you are the creature, and your brain is the egg. That's all the time we have tonight, folks. Have a great night, and remember, the end is nigh.